Now I'm going to start with the Python list. First, I will go with the definition. What is the definition? So, list is a built-in. We know that list is a built-in dynamic sized array. Means automatically grow and sync. Suppose we are going to add, append all the things, automatically it will add and define the memory location and define the indexes, and it will grow and sync on them. So that is used to store an ordered collection of item. We can store all type of item in list, like numeric, string, okay, float, decimal, any type of item we can store in a list. We can include another list as well. Suppose I have a small list, I want to include the same list, we can include this on there. A list may contain mixed type of item. This is the possible because a list mainly stores references at contiguous, and actual item may be stored at a different location. So I'm going to explain what is the meaning of this sentence. So here, question one: what is the meaning of given sentence? We can store all type of item in a list, so we can include another list as well. So a list contain mixed type of items. This is possible because a list mainly store reference a contiguous and actual item may be stored at different locations. So I will let you know here. A list can hold element of different data types because it stores references, means memory addresses, to actual item, not the items themselves. How it is going to work? First, I'm going to talk about the list storage. A Python list is an array of reference storage in a contiguous memory. Means we can store all type of items in list. We can include another list as well. A list may contain mixed type of item. This is possible because a list mainly stored references at a continuous and actual item may store at a different location. So each element in the list is a reference or pointer to an object stored elsewhere in memory. Suppose I have a list name. I suppose in given CMD5, you can see that I have a list name 42 hello 3.14, and there is another sublist. So 42 is indicate as a zero location. So there in memory there is a location, certain location we give the store we can store on there, and we call as a zero location on there. So mixed type, since the list only store references, the actual object can be any type like integer, string, float, list, dictionary, custom object, anything. So this allows to list to be heterogeneous, means contain different type of data. I'm going to give the example. Suppose this is my list I have created, and it contains the combination of different type of value, like one number, then string, then float, then another list on there, and then I'm printing here. You can see that here. So you can see that my list zero, in index number 0 store a reference to the integer 42. So if in list we want to find out the integer where the integer is stored, we can go on 0th location. And same way, first location string is stored, second location float is stored, and third location another list got stored on there. So why it is matter? So dynamic nature, this design make the list dynamic and flexible, enable them to store different type of object, memory management. These are things. So Python memory manager handle where actual item are stored, while the list keeps references on there. So now another part, how to create a list. So simply we can create a list by the here I am going to give the some method to create a list. So list of integers. Suppose I will create a list with a this way. And list of string, we can create a numeric value, integer value, and then string value, and then mixed data type, we can create a list. Okay, and then I'm going to print the print here, print a, print b, print c. So then I will create a list with the list constructor, means list function. There is a auto defined function list name list. Suppose I have a, I am defined with the this one. So you will fill in, you know that the this curly whatever bracket I have used, it is used for this tuples. So I suppose I have a tuple list of the that contains a certain number. I want to convert it into the list. Then how can I do? So then suppose I will first I will define the tuple. Then I'm going to in another in variable I'm going to store this tuple as a list. So I will call the list function, and under list function I will provide this variable. So after that, when I'm going to print, it become as a list. Okay, so this way we can another way we can create a list. So creating a list with the repeated elements. So suppose I want to create a list. I want to create list that contain the repeated element. So either we can define a manually, either what we can do, I can create a one single list which contain a certain value which want to repeat. So suppose a have I have created the list that contain the two, and I have given the and multiplied by the 5 multiply by the 5, and see another list I want to print like 0 0 0 this. Then I have defined the list like this way, and I have done the into 7, means 7 time it show the 0, and here 5 time it show the 2. So then when I'm going to print, you can see that the list shown this like a 2 2 2 2 2, and this 5 type, and this is showing 7 time. Okay, so now how can I access the list elements? How can I access the list elements? So element in a list can be accessed using the indexing. So Python indexes start at 0. So a zeroth location will be the first element, while negative indexing allows us to access element from the end of the list, like index -1 to represent the list element of the elements of the list. So I'm going to the show here. So you can see that this is my a list. I have defined the one list that contain the number, like that contain the number like 10 20 30 40 50. You can tell as a integer also. So I want to access the first element of the list. So I will give the print command, in under print command a, and I will call the 0. So zeroth location, what is the zeroth location? As so it is the zeroth location, means 10th is on zeroth location, 20 on one first location, and 30 on the second location, 40 on the third location, and 50 on the fourth location. If I'm going with the negative indexing, so you can see that the 50 on the first location, 40 on the second location, third on the third 30 on third location, fourth on 20 on fourth location, and 10th of the fifth location. So here, 1 minute, I'm going to restart the resource as well. I will show you in front of you example as well. So what happened is here, so I want to access the first element of the list. Then I will provide a 0 a variable name, and I have opened the bracket, and in this bracket I will provide the index is 0. So if I'm going to run this print statement, then we'll get the 10. And I want to access the last element. Then what I have done, I will start from the -1. You can see that instead of 0 I have given the -1. Now you can see that it is printing 10 and 15 for the both. Now another part, how to add a element in list. This is a very most important question. So sometimes interviewer generally ask, uh, if you are going for the Python basics and other things, he will ask this question. So we can add an element to the list using the following methods. Means there are three methods is given. First is append method, second is extend method, and third is insert method. So in what is in append method? It's adds an element at the end of the list. Suppose I have a list. This is the list. I want to add a 60. If I'm going to the if I'm going to the I want to add a list of 60 60 number in this list. So if I'm going to use append, then what will happen? It will insert that that 60 number in last of the list, like after 50. And if I want to go to the extend method, then adds multiple element at the end of the list. So I suppose instead of going to add one single item, I want to add multiple item, then I will go for the extend method. So and another last one is insert. So it adds an element at a specific position. So insert, what will happen? Suppose this is my list, I want to insert 25. So 25 I want to insert between 20 to 30. So if I want to insert that, so I will use command a dot insert. First, what will you use? I will specific command. I will show you here. Zero. I want to show the third location to second location, comma. I will use the second location, comma, uh, comma 25. Then it will add here only. So I will show the example how append work, how extend work, and how insert work. So I have created one empty list. Okay, in empty list I want to add the 10th at the end of the list. I want to add the 10th in the 10th number in the list. End or first, you can say that. At the end of the list means if you there is no value in the list whatever I have created, because it is empty list. If I'm going to add first, this I will use a dot append. So in this what happened is there. So it is if I after append 10, it will whatever list is empty is now contain the value like 10. So you say that is the 0th position or -1 position, you can say that on there. So another part is that inserting 5 at a index 0. So I have already added 10 here. I have already added 10 here. I want to insert 5 before 10. Then what I will use a insert method. So in this insert method what I will do, I will use a 0. I will use a I will call the insert method. Insert method first value I will pass the location where I want to store that value. Then I will pass the value which is value I am going to store on there. If after that I have insert that, you can see that 5 is come before that 10. Now another part is that extend method. Extend method is nothing but adding a multiple element at the end of the list. So suppose I have sorry I have list that contain the value 5 and 10. I want to add this value 15, 20, and 25. Then what will I do? I will use extend method. In this extend method I will call this as a I will call this here this value, and after running after then I will run the print. Then I will see that 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So it is come here. Okay, so this is the way how we can add the string here in the list add the value in the list. Now I'm going for the updating element into the list. So updating element into the list is nothing but suppose I have a list whatever I have shown you. You can change the value of element by accessing it using its index. So I want to change the value, change the second item. Suppose there is 20. I want to change the number of 20, number 20 to 25. So what will I do? I will define that a number one position equal to 25. If I'm going to print this way, it will give that like 10, 25, 30, 40, 45. This way we can do that updating. I want to remove from any element from the list. So what will I do? Simply we can remove from the list is using remove method, pop method, and del method. Okay, so remove the first occurrence of an element. Remove method, what will happen? It will do first occurrence of the element. Pop, what will do? Remove the element at a specific index or the list element if no index is specified. So, okay, and then delete statement, delete an element at a specified index on there. So I will give the example, then you will understand how it is going to work on there. So Simply, this is my list 10, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. I want to use a first remove, and I want to remove, and I want to remove the 30th number. Okay, so 30th number. So I will a dot remove 30, and then I will going to print here. Then you can see that here, after removing of the 30 from there, it is showing like 10, 20, 40, 50. Remove means what will happen? Remove the first occurrence of element. First occurrence. Suppose I have a here, if I suppose I will add one more 30 for your exam, for your convenience. I want to have it is as per their uh, as per definition, remove the first occurrence of element. So it should remove the this one, not this one. Both should not be removed, whatever written. So I will try here. Let's see what will happen. Now you can see that remove our, so if suppose list contain two duplicate records, so it will remove the first duplicate remove methods. Okay, you got it this way. Now another method is pop method. So remove the element at first index 1. So what is the index 1? It 20 is the index 1. How? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So one place is the 20 value. So I want to remove this one. So what I have done, I have called the variable dot pop 1 and storing another variable. I'm going to print on there. So after pop 1, you can see that this is the 20th element I am going to delete, and here from a it is automatically deleted. From that you can see that 30 we have already removed. Now 20 I have removed. Then you can see that 10, 40, 50 is present on there. So if I'm going to use a delete function, what will I here I have to specify the location index of the which I want to delete. So I'm going to define the index 0. So in last run you can see that it is showing 40, 50. It has deleted a 10 one. So this way we can remove the list data from the list. So now another question, iterating over a list. So we can iterate. So we can iterate the list easily by using a for loop or other iteration method. So iteration over list is very useful when we want to do some operation on each item or specific access specific items based on certain conditions. So let's take an example to iterate over the list using a loop. So you can understand we can iterate the list easily by using for loop or other iteration method like a while loop. So iterating over list is useful when we want to do some operation on each item or accessing a specific item based on the certain condition. So let's take an example to iterate over this loop and for loop. So iterate over the loop. So there is a one list. It is creating a list that contain the string value apple, banana, and cherry. And I want to print all the item one by one in different row. So what I will do, I will create a one for loop. I have created one for loop and name as a item in a variable and printing item. So it is printing like apple. First is apple, second is banana, third is cherry. So this way we can iterate over a list. As per requirement, you can practice your activity. Okay, so another portion is that nested list. So nested list and multi-dimensional list. What is nested and multi-dimensional list also? A nested list is a list within another list. Means suppose I have a list, and in that list there is another list also created. So I have shown you in example. You can see that here. You can see that this is the I'm talking about this. Suppose I have a list. Under that there is another list. So this is known as a nested list on there. This is known as a nested list on there. So one by one I'm going to. So we can access nested list elements by changing index. We can by changing index. Suppose I have a list name as a matrix. I have variable list name as a matrix. Under that there are three nested list. First nested list contain 1 2 3. Second list is contain 4 5 6. Third list is contain 7 8 9. I want to access element at row 2 column 3. Row 2 and column 3 means this list value this 6. So how can I access the value? I will write print matrix first first index. So this is come on the 0 index. This is, you know, that I told you first one is 0, second is 1, and third is uh, 2. So I'm going to check first. I want to this row second. So row second, this is index number is 2, and I want to in this index there is another bill index will create 0 1 2. I want to access the third value. Then it will give, I will have to give 2, and it will give the 6. So this is the way how we can access the nested list and dimensional list on there. So now I'm going to start Python tuple. Now I'm going to start Python tuples. How can we go for Python tuples on there? So Python tuples, you know that both are the like both are the list is immutable, and this is immutable. Means list, we in list we can edit, add, delete, anything operation we can perform, but in tuple we cannot do anything. I will give the difference between these two. So in last of the after tuples. So Python tuple is a collection of the Python programming object. Much like a list, the sequence of value stored in a tuple can be of any type. It can also store any type, and they are indexed by the integer. So value of a tuple sententally value of the tuples are separated by the commas. So commas, and although it is not necessary, it is more common to define a tuple by closing the sequence of value in parentheses. So this help in the understanding the Python tuples more easily on there. So I'm going to create, how I can create a Python tuple. So creating a Python tuple. So in Python programming, tuples are created by placing a sequence of value separated by comma, or comma with or without the use of parenthesis of grouping the data sequence. So like this, suppose this is I have created tuple, and this is the empty tuple how I have created. And if I'm going to print, it will print as nothing. It is not going to print anything. So another thing is creating a tuple with the use of string. Suppose I want to create a tuple of a string, so I will give here Abhishek and Tripathi, then print tuple 1. So same way, if I want to give the use of integer, then I will suppose I want to create a tuple with the help of from the list. So there is a list. Suppose I have list with of integer, and I want to create a tuple. So I will call here tuple. Under that I will call the list. Then it will create a tuple of the number. Then, and another method, creating a tuple with the use of built-in function. So suppose tuple is there, I have created a tuple. Tuple one. I have created. There is tuple variable tuple one, and I have, this is the built-in function tuple. I am going to give the any name, like my name is Abhishek here, and I want to print the this tuple one. Then you can see that what is the output on there. So first empty tuple which is given. Then I have created the string tuple. Then I have created a tuple from the list, and then I have done tuple with the use of function. So here what you can see that I tuple means whatever name I have given, it is going to separated by the this is the string, and it is going to separate by the comma. You can see that the comma is comma separated value in the this output. So there is note is written. You can see that creation of tuple without the use of parenthesis is known as a tuple packing. Known as a tuple packing on there. Known as a tuple packing. And Now I'm moving to the another point, creating a tuple with a mixed data type. So Python tuple can contain any number of element and of any data type like string, integer, list, anything. Tuples can also be created using a single element, but it is a bit tricky. Having one element in the parenthesis is not sufficient. There must be a trailing comma to make its tuple. So you can see that. So creating a tuple with a mixed data type. Suppose there is tuple one to contain integer, string, integer, string. If I'm going to print, I will print. I will let you know. I will print and let you know. You can see that the mixed data type is coming like this here. And if I'm and another method, creating a tuple with a nested tuple. So suppose I have a three tuples. We know that we cannot add any value in a tuple, but we can concat the three tuples in a single one, three tuples in a single one. So I have created tuple 1 that contain the integer value, tuple 2 that contain the string value. Then I'm doing concatenating these two above one. I want to combine and create a single tuple. Then then I have done this way, and I'm going to print tuple 3. Let's see what is the output. You can see that both are coming as a different tuple with a nested tuple. It come as a tuple with a nested tuple on there, because this tuple value is this one, this tuple value is this one. If I'm going to add this one, I will add and let you know how it is going to work on there. So creating the tuple with a repetition. So suppose I want to create a tuple. So you know that no you there is you know that this point, having one element in parenthesis is not sufficient. There must be a trailing comma to make it tuple. So if you want to create a tuples, so you have to give the comma value on the here. So this is the one string I have given comma. Then I have what I have done, into three. So what it will do? It will create a tuple with a three time BLR. You can see here three time BLR. So now creating a tuple with the use of loop, simple tuple 1 BLR and n equal to 5. So I have run the n equal to 5. I run the loop from 1 to integer n means 5 time. Then whatever I'm going to create tuple comma, then printing this one. Now you can see that it is going to print 5 time. How it is created like this. It will create on there. Like this, it will create on there. And one more thing I want to show you here. So I want to add t4 equal to tuple 1, whether it is going to add or not. First we can check. First, second, and then I want to print t4, whether it is going to give output or not, whether or is there creating any issue. No, now you can see that instead of giving like this, instead of giving like this, tuple 1 and tuple 2 in this bracket, you can directly add this, and it will give the output like a single tuple. Okay, so this is the tuple. How can we create and access the value from there? Now I'm going to create a value or create a tuple on there. Now Python tuple operation. What are the operation on there? So Python tuple operation is there. Accessing a Python tuple, concat of the tuple, slicing of tuple, deletion of tuple. So accessing, how can we access the tuple? In Python programming, the tuples are immutable, and usually then they contain a sequence of heterogeneous elements that are accessed by the unpacking or indexing, or even by attribute. In a case of named tuples, list are there. So lists are mutable, and their elements are usually homogeneous and are accessed by iterating over the list. So note, in unpacking of tuple, number of variable on the left hand side should be equal to the number of variable in the given tuple as so I here. So you can see that first I will go through the index. First I will go through the index, then we'll go for the unpacking whatever I have let you know given the theoretical things. So accessing by index, suppose I have tuple. The tuple contain the BLR, and first I want to access the tuple 1 zeroth second zeroth position on there. So it will create what will be the output. It will give the first zero position is B, and after that I want to do unpack tuple unpacking. So tuple 1 BLR for HYD, that way I have given, and this line unpack how I will unpack. You can see that A comma B comma C equal to tuple 1. This is tuple I have created. So it will print one by one value 1 2 3 means first position BLR, second position for third position HYD, third position HYD. Okay. Now another part is the concatenation of tuples. How can I add two tuples? How can I do concate of the tuples? So concatenation of tuple is the process of joining two or more tuple. I shown you earlier in the before 2 minutes ago in above CMD. So it is done by the plus operator and a plus operator. Okay, so I will give the only the same data type can be combined with the concat, and error arise if a list and a tuple are combined. If list or tuple are tuple, so tuple we can add. If there is a list, it will give the error on there. So tuple 1, this you can say 0 1 2 3, and tuple 2 BLR for HYD. It is the, if I'm going to add, then it will give the output like tuple 1 tuple 2, this is 2, and it will give like 0 1 2 3 BLR for HYD. This way it is going to print output. And then slicing of tuple. Slicing of tuple is done to fetch a specific range or slice of sub element from a tuple. Slicing can also be done to lists and arrays. So indexing in a list results to fetch a single element, where slicing allowed to fetch a set of elements on there. So negative increment value can also be used to reverse the sequence of the tuples on there. So slicing first tuple. Suppose I'm going to create a tuple with create a tuple. I'm going to create a tuple one. I'm going to create a tuple one. Now I'm going to print first tuple whatever I have given. Then I'm going to print here. First I will print this and will let you know how it is working. Then we'll go for another. Now you can see that I have given this tuple, and a tuple one I have created with the name of my name Abhishek, and removing first element. I want to remove the first element of that. So it's remove the first element A. It has removed using slicing on there. So same way, if I go for that reversing the tuple, if I want to reverse the tuple, means from K, I have already removed the A. If I'm going to reverse the tuple, then how it is work? KEHSI B B A, this way, and printing the element between 4 and, if I want to give the specific range, suppose 4 and 9. So how it is going to work? ABHISHEK, EHHEK. So only I have in my name has a 8 letters. So it has written this way. 8 letter. It has written this way. So how can I now another point? How can I delete a tuple? So tuples are immutable, and hence they do not allow deletion of a part of it. The entire tuples get deleted by using of del. So we cannot specifically delete any print of the tuple after deletion result in a error. We, as you know that we cannot, it is immutable, means if we cannot delete anything, insert, update or delete by directly on there. So if I want to delete a whole tuple, I can use a del keyword, and here give the variable name where I have stored the tuple value. If after that, if I'm going to print that, it will give the result as a error on there. So there are few built-in methods on there, you can practice from your own. So first is index, second is count. So find in the tuple index, what will happen, find in the tuple and return the index of the given value where it is available. Count, return the frequency of occurrence of a specified value, occurrence of a specified value, whatever you want to do count. There are few built-in function you can check, and you can check and print on there. So it contain the built-in function, it contain the built-in function is like all, any, length, max, min, sum, sorted, and tuples. These are the built-in function, and you can try from, you can practice from your own. If you have any question regarding this thing, you can write in comment box. I will create another video and will let you know. Okay, so for set, I will I'm going to set, it is already more than half an hour, so I will cover set in another video with the dictionary, and will load in upload in a few days, upcoming few days. So I'm requesting, please like, subscribe, and keep like my channel. Thank you very much.